Quick screens. Quick screens are about the simplest thing that we do in this offense, and kind of the simplest version of football that you can put out there. They are the simplest form of offensive football, and our biggest rule every week is if we're going to run these, quick screens, don't ever overthink it. At the end of the day, we're not. We're going to get the ball to somebody out in space. It's going to be to one of our best players, and it's not going to be a real complicated way of getting it there to them. Quarterback's going to take the snap and immediately throw it out there to somebody. That person's going to catch that ball, and then we're going to try to get some people out there blocking for them. So our quick screens are an extremely simple deal. Now I had the opportunity early in my career to work for Chris Hatcher, who is just kind of widely known as one of the original air raid gurus out there. When the air raid became big at Valdosta State, he was the quarterback for Hal Mummy and Mike Leach, and won the Harlan Hill, and where that thing really blew up. So he got to be a big part of it as that thing was becoming widely known. And I had the opportunity to work for Coach Hatcher as a GA at Valdosta State, about 100 million years ago. And Coach Hatcher has since gone on and done, a bunch of great things. But I remember as a GA for him, all of us going to the national convention one year, and Coach Hatcher had been asked to speak on our screen game and specifically about the quick screens. And Coach Hatcher, doesn't like to do anything complicated. He doesn't like complicated issues. Likes to keep things real simple. The Southern guy got a Southern drawl. He's up in front of the room, and early on in his talk, he gets a question from a coach who, using a lot of big words and in a long roundabout way, essentially asked Coach Hatcher, "How do you get the ball to your best players?" And Coach Hatcher's response, real simply was, "Well," and then after a long pause, just said, "We just throw it on out there to them." And after the room had a really good laugh at the expense of the guy that asked the question, which was not Coach Hatcher's intention at all, he, really kind of got down and explained, like, this is something that we're really simple about. We're really simple about it in our game planning. We're really simple about it in how we practice it and teach it. When we do practice it, we get a million reps doing it. We rep it fast. We keep the technique of it simple, and we're just teaching our guys, teaching the quarterback how to turn to in baseball so that he knows how to get the ball out quick. We're teaching that receiver how to take a good jab step and catch the ball. We're teaching, landmarks for the blockers. Hey, run to this, area right here. Make sure we get out in front of the guy, and we keep the blocking rules as simple as, most dangerous, second most dangerous, third most dangerous, at the end of the day. And then we're just asking those players in the box, hey, just make sure that, that the box defenders don't get a chance to just run out there to the edge and go tackle us. So this is a really simple form of football right here, and we'll use this for all of our best players, receivers, running backs, whether it's just, throwing an immediate swing out there to the edge. This is as simple as you can get right here. So it may be a now screen like what we're throwing right now, and you can see quarterbacks just doing a quick turn two in baseball. Okay, getting the ball out to the edge. We're just getting our blockers. Okay, all of our skill blockers, our slot receiver, our running back, we're getting everybody out there in front of the screen guy. Okay, at the end of the day, we've just simply decided, hey, look, who are our best players? Can we throw them quick screens? If we can, throw them quick screens, where do we need to set them at in the formation where we know we're going to get some cushion so we can throw it on out there to them? And so we knew going into this game we were going to play a 4-2-5 bunch with a cover 4 shell, and we were going to get, a soft boundary, and it worked out great. Hey, that's an easy throw for the Q. We can just get it out there to the receiver right now. Okay, we're going to let the slot be most dangerous on it. So his job is to get to 1 yard in front of the screen guy, get there with squared shoulders, and be ready to pick up most dangerous. What we tell our blockers, we don't want you running downfield and chasing. Okay, the only time that our blockers are allowed to begin to work downfield and be aggressive on it is after the screener catches the ball, he'll make a go-go call. Anytime they hear go-go, they know they can just go. Now, if you're a perimeter blocker who's coming from the backfield, then this has got to stay on the run through the whole process. But we're asking him, same thing. We want you to attack that landmark that's 1 yard in front of the screener. We want you to run through it on your way up, and we also want you to read the block of the slot because he's got most dangerous, which means you have second most dangerous. In terms of the O-line, all we're ever asking the O-line to do is just simply cut off everybody in the box from being able to run out here to the edge. Now, at times, we will say, hey, we're going to go ahead and we're going to let that front side in, like if they're playing with wide fives or wide nines, whatever it may be. If they're playing with somebody that's simply going to get into the path if we try to reach them, then we'll just let them go and work up, okay? We don't want to go reaching way out wide and take a chance of getting into the screen throw right here. So we decided, hey, we're going to let this guy go free. We're going to try to cut off the rest of the box right here. Okay, cut off there. He's got most dangerous. He would be on second most dangerous, and we get a chance to just go run and get upfield. Okay, that's a +9 for us right there on 1st and 10. Those are the kind of plays we want to be able to get. And that's one of our best players right there at that time. That kid was really fast. And so this is a real easy, cheap way for us to just go steal, him touching the football and making a big play happen. All right. Okay, same situation, except now we're going to take it to the slot to the field. We knew we were going to get tucked in field backers. Okay, they weren't going to respect us with the width right here. So we wanted to be able to go run the same thing out there to the field side. And so we brought our guy in motion. We're still bringing the back out of the backfield. Now, this is where we get the no-no going on. Again, we're throwing a now screen. Your job is to get 1 yard in front of the screener. Be here with your shoulders square. Do not chase downfield. All right, unfortunately, we're immediately chasing downfield, and so we end up we're getting out leveraged, and we got some problems going on. We're still going to go +7. This is a really good athlete for us that season, and we wanted to get the ball to him out in the slot. It's a real easy way for us to just go get the ball out in space and let a good athlete just go play with the ball in his hands. Okay, same scenario right here, except, because of our tempo and we go fast, we like to formation it and even force the issue at times. So we've decided, hey, we're going to go, quads into the boundary, create like a diamond set, and we're just going to build a wall for the guy. Let's just get the ball out to one of our best athletes and let him go play. This particular opponent was going to always play with some form of a 5 down front, so they were going to play with, either some version of, a shade, a 4-eye, and a walk up and a 3-5 on the other side, or some form of a bear front. At the end of the day, so they were always going to have 7 in the box, and since they were always going to have 7 in the box, they were always going to get to some version of a cover 3 set, going on. We knew that we would have, we'd be able to out leverage those guys on the perimeter, and so one of our fast calls built in this week was to simply just, hey, we're going quads into the boundary. Our tailback, who was a really good player that year, is just going to line up at the back of the diamond. Let's just get the ball out to him and let him go run with it. Catch, turn 2, get it out. Okay, and we've got a hat for hat all the way across the board, and good things happen. All right, game planning that took 5 minutes at the end of the day. I mean, it didn't take any time of our Sunday to be able to sit and decide, hey, this makes sense right here. Easy way to just go get the ball to our best player and let him go play. Okay, if we want to do it from the backfield, same situation, quick motion to get into a swing and just get the ball out to the swing. We're getting the exact same scenario. I've got the ball in the hands of one of our best players. He's out there on the perimeter with blockers out in front of him. Okay, and we're just letting him go make cuts and run and get upfield. Okay, now there's no specific landmark when we're going with the motion coming from the swing, but the same principles still apply. So like if we get any man, we're going to run them off. Otherwise, we just want to be coming off, about a yard past the line of scrimmage, and we want to be settled and under control and picking them up as they come, just like we're getting right here. And we go for +4 on that. We go from 1st and 10 to 2nd and 6. We're ahead of schedule right now. We're right where we want to be. And it's just an easy way to get the ball to one of our better players. Okay, same situation. All right, throwing it down here into the boundary. All right. All right, we were going to be getting tight techniques this week, so we knew we were going to be able to have a chance to get the tackle out into the play. So we've actually got, our slot on most dangerous. I've got the back on the run through, but I've actually got a chance to get the tackle and the back on the outside backer all the way up to the safety. So we've got a chance to get everybody picked up. So you can see that lane right there. Okay, we end up missing just barely with the tackle. He's got to take a flatter angle, okay? But we've got hat for hat. I've got picked up, picked up, picked up, and then I'm going to be running through with the back, okay? And that could have been a much bigger play if he didn't have to sidestep right there. But again, just quick, easy ways to get the ball out to the edge. Let one of your better players in space go run and get upfield. That's 2nd and 10. We go plus 12 to get a 1st and 10 right there. Okay, another example of us going fast. Okay, we've got one of our best players on the field right here. Again, we're just throwing him the screen right now, letting him catch it and get upfield. Okay, we get a +5 off of this. At the end of the day, the other team is looking at it and going, man, I'm glad we just got that kid down. Okay, here we are. They're struggling to get lined up, figure out who needs to go where, and I've got a hat for hat at the point of attack. Letting that kid who's really dangerous just go run with the football. That could easily been more than a +5. But we'll take the +5. We went from 2nd and 8. Now it's going to be 3rd and 3. We like 3rd and 3. Okay. Again, back to getting into the swings. Motion them out. Let them be out there, with blockers out in front of them. We do a good job of being in front of people. Okay, staying square. This is why we make sure that our shoulders are square at the point of attack. Okay, so that we can play lateral as they come to us right there. Okay. All right, and that's just getting the ball to a really good player out in space, letting him go catch it and run with it. We are not overthinking it right there. Okay, same scenario. Now we're going up top. And what looks like, a single receiver set where we don't have a chance to throw a now screen, we're going to fast motion the tight end out, let that thing turn into a now situation. So there we go. You can see, good job by the tight end being 1 yard in front of the screener, shoulders square. Running back is coming into play right here, picking up second most dangerous. And who is the one that ends up having to make the play? It's the motion man, the down safety that has to come all the way across. He's got to be the one that makes the tackle right there. And so, that's fine. He makes that tackle. We're going to end up being +8 on this one. Okay, easy way to just get the ball to a good receiver. Okay, get the ball to a strong kid's hands right now and let him go get north and south with it. Big key on this deal is you got to teach those receivers you can't waste any time, dancing around. We don't ever take the thing back inside. It goes vertical or it bounces outside, but we can't waste any time. All right. This step inside right here, all right, really just does enough to kind of waste time for us. We'd rather, hey, don't waste that inside step. Just catch it and go right now. We knew we could get this box reached, so it wasn't any problem to get those guys cut off and get the ball out there to the outside. All right, 1st and 10, we go +8. Now it's 2nd and 2. Same scenario. Get it to the outside. Okay. All right, they do a good job stopping us right there. All right, they get us for what ends up being only a +4. But at the end of the day, that +4 could have easily turned into something bigger. Okay. And as many times as I can sit there and count and make sure that my best players are touching the football, I want to get to halftime and I want to look at the distribution. I want to see, I want to see how much each guy has touched the ball. Do I got a really good player who's only touched the ball once this entire game? Well, we got to get that changed and we got to change it quick. Again, just get it out to the edge as fast as you can. Get blockers in front of them. It requires 5 minutes of planning out the formation. Okay, easy, simple, cheap way to be able to get the ball out in space to a good player. All right. makes the defense have to work, makes those guys have to pursue right now. They got to do the rabbit drill. Okay, we get it out in space, and that's what we want to get. All right, here's the swing again. Get it out in space. Okay, as long as we've got people in front, that's all we need right there. Okay, people in front, and it gives our guy a chance to go run around him. All right, he goes out of bounds for a +3, so we go from 2nd and 6 to 3rd and 3. Okay, but again, all it takes is one bad angle. All right, one slip, one bad thing by the defense, and that instead of that being a +3, that thing quickly turns into, a 20-yard gain or maybe even a touchdown. Best thing for us is we're guaranteeing, hey, our best player on the field is touching the football. We're giving him opportunities to see what happens. The more that he touches the ball in space, more likely we are to go get points. All right, so that's us on the quick screens. It's an extremely, simple process. Again, you just got to teach that quarterback to get the ball out quick. Teach your receivers to, step quick, catch the ball, and get upfield right now. Don't hesitate or waste any time. Okay, and you got to teach your blockers out front to be patient. Let the pressure of the defense come to them. The most important thing is that the blockers are where they're supposed to be at the point of attack when it happens. Okay, if those guys are downfield chasing people, now we're all out of alignment, doesn't work up. We're not building that wall for the screen guy, which is what we need to do. So anyway, so quick screens, one of the best things that I ever picked up, from my younger days at Valdosta State, and something we'll always continue to do in our offense.